Okay, so Dr. J, who I grew up with, probably one of the first athletes in the NBA he came from the ABA. Everybody fell in love with him. He had a shoe deal with Converse, and he had Dr. J was easy to fall in love with.
Unbelievable. The fro,
everything.
It was great.
It was just great. His highlights, by the way, 40 years later, his highlights hold up. They're insane.
Yep.
But now he's blaming LeBron. LeBron is to blame for the super teams. Oh, it's just LeBron's fault. And I thought, oh boy, what's Nick going to say about this? So what are you going to say here?
All right, so listen, everyone belly up to their television because a quick little history lesson on the NBA. On today is actually the 55th anniversary of the Boston Celtics winning their 8th consecutive title of the 1960s. So methinks the 1960s had a super team because the team peeled off 8 in a row. What about the 70s? Well, Oscar Robertson, one of the greatest players ever, he ends up joining up with Lou Alcindor, soon to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, to form arguably the greatest team ever. The very next year, Elgin Baylor, who'd never won a ring, Jerry West, who'd been to 8 finals but never won a ring, and Wilt Chamberlain, who had somehow only won 1 ring, they all get together to form the 72 Lakers. Elgin gets hurt, doesn't matter, super duper team. They win, I think, 33 in a row, and they win the title. Then the league's a little watered down because the ABA and NBA are competing for talent. In the ABA, Dr. J is annihilating it. The ABA folds. Dr. J instantly gets to an NBA Finals, scores 40 points in an elimination game of those finals, but his team isn't good enough. That's 1977. 1980, he gets back to the NBA Finals, only to face the Los Angeles Lakers. They've got Kareem, they've got a guy named Jamal Wilkes, and a rookie named Magic Johnson. And nothing Dr. J does can be good enough, so he loses. The very next year, Dr. J is the best he's been in the NBA. He wins a league MVP. He gets to a Game 7 of the conference finals. They're playing a Boston Celtics team that has Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Cedric Maxwell, Tiny Nate Archibald, who was still good, and a rookie named Kevin McHale. Shockingly, the Sixers can't win that series. Goes to a Game 7. They lose by 1, not Dr. J's fault. The next year, Dr. J's still trying to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm the defending league MVP. Gets back to the finals, and who's there? Those damn Lakers again. So what happens? The 1981 MVP, Dr. J, and the 1982 MVP, Moses Malone, they team up together on the 1983 Sixers. And what happens? They form one of the greatest teams ever, who almost sweeps the entire NBA playoffs and wins the title to dethrone the previous super team Lakers and the soon-to-be super team Celtics that only predated the super teams of the Jordan, Pippen, Rodman Bulls, all of it. It's super team after super team after super team, starting 55 years ago today to now. So we want to put that on LeBron because he orchestrated his team instead of having smoke-filled room general managers orchestrate it. That's fine. But the history is not on my guy Dr. J's side.
No, I laugh about this. It used to be like 8 teams, and Boston had the best GM and the most money, and they got all the players. The players now just coordinate it more than the general managers coordinate it, and fans don't like that. Fans don't like when the players coordinate the super team. We're always okay with the GMs and the coaches coordinating it, and agents. That's fine.
Of course. And it's always been there.
Yeah.
The whole NBA history is awesome players coming together and winning a bunch of titles. That's the NBA's history.